Hello everybody and welcome to the 4th episode of R&R. In today's episode we're going to be listening to Playboi Carti's very first mixtape titled Playboi Carti. On episode 5 we will be listening to Yours Truly by Ariana Grande. And so let's get started with this mixtape. The very first song that we have on here is called Location. Location was a good song. I love the production on it. His lyrics are not really the best. I don't think they're as good as like Tyler the Creator's or like Led Zeppelin or something like that. But overall, I love the production. I love how he used the beat. It had a great flow to it. And yeah, the very next song we have on here is called Magnolia. The second song was Magnolia. It was a good song. The production is definitely one of the best parts about this mixtape. I love how the bass is mixed. I love the beats themselves. His rapping, it went with it, like I said, with the first song. The flow, his lyrics are kind of, nonsensical. Except for Magnolia, at least my theory is about him selling drugs on Magnolia. I don't know if that's a street or, well, it's obviously a street somewhere in New York. But overall, it was a good song. I didn't like it as much as Location, but I loved the synthesizers and the piano on Location. So yeah, the very next song that we have on here is called Lookin' with Lil Uzi Vert. Lookin' wasn't a bad song, but lyrically it has to be my least favorite. It was basically him, flexing what he has and stuff like that. And I don't mind people flexing what they have, because if you work for something, you should at least, be like, I worked here to get it. But like, I don't know, it really wasn't anything special lyrically. I mean, the beat was good and all that stuff, and the bass was good, but I don't know, I didn't like it as much as Magnolia or Location. And the very next song we have here is Woke Up Like This with, again, Lil Uzi Vert. Woke Up Like This is easily one of the most recognizable songs on the mixtape. It was, for me personally, the song of 2017 whenever I was playing, NBA 2K17 back in the day. But overall, it still holds up. I love how Uzi made the little peep, shining in my white tee reference. Obviously, the 9th song off of the Crybaby mixtape. And yeah, overall, it still holds up lyrically. It was way better than the one with Uzi earlier. The album is getting better. And yeah, the next song we have on here is Let It Go. Let It Go is a good song. I love, the bass, the beat, everything. Like I said, lyrically it wasn't my favorite as Woke Up Like This or Location or Magnolia. But, I mean, he goes with the flow. I mean, he really outdoes himself. And I am finding that I'm enjoying this album a lot, or sorry, this mixtape. And the next song that we have on here is Half and Half. Half and Half was a very okay song. It had a very playlist song vibe to it, and a playlist song, in my opinion, is like whenever a rapper does like a double album, and like some of the songs are not going to stand out like others, and it had that very playlist type beat where you can just put it on the aux and everybody's just going to vibe to it. Overall, he had a great flow to it. The beat was good. Lyrically, I don't remember anything. I'm just going to be honest with you. I just remember that beat. And the next song that is on here is probably maybe his most famous song, is New Choppa with A$AP Rocky. New Choppa was an excellent song. A$AP Rocky, his verse was amazing. The beat was amazing. I just loved everything about it. It was just perfectly mixed. I mean, that's okay. If you're going to listen to one song off this album, it would have to be that one. And yeah, the next song that we have on here is called Other Shit. Other Shit. Lyrically, it wasn't the best song on the album, but I do love the quirky, weird beat. I'm not gonna lie. I might add it to the best of R&R playlist. Overall, it was a good song. I didn't hate it. I'm kind of mixed on it. I really don't know. I'll come back to you in my review. The next song we have on here is called Number 9. Number 9 wasn't a bad song. It was another playlist song on here. But the beat wasn't bad. His lyrics weren't the best. Overall, I mean, it was an average song. And yeah, the next song that we have on here is called Do That Shit. Do That Shit was a good song. It sounded kind of like a sequel to Magnolia because it opened with AP or Hop on the beat, and it had the same sound effect as the sorry if that annoyed you, but it had that same sound effect. It was a very good song, and I'm enjoying it. The next song that we have on here is Lame N-Words, and I'm not saying that whenever I repeat and review the song. Lame N-Words wasn't a bad song. The beat was good. The lyrics were kind of nothing, but I enjoyed the song overall. The next song that we have on here is You Mean. You Mean, just like most of the other songs on this album, had a great beat. He was rapping to it, had a great flow. And apologies for not talking more about the last song. It just I mean, I liked it and all that stuff, but it wasn't really the best. But yeah, you mean it was a good song. The next song we have on here is called Flex with Levine Cali. Flex was a pretty good song. It even addressed, why is your name even Playboi Carti? Because his real name is Jordan. But yeah, I liked the beat a lot. I liked what the message was. Why are you this? And don't hit up my phone. And it talks about his change from going to Jordan into Playboi Carti, becoming, an image and all that stuff. I really liked it because it did have a story, just like Magnolia and all that stuff. And yeah, the very next song we have on here is called Kelly K. Kelly K was the longest song on the album. It wasn't a bad song or anything like that. It was a very relaxing vibe song to it, and I actually really enjoyed it. And yeah, the very last song we have on here is called Had To. Had To was a very good way of closing out the album. It's not the best closer that I've ever heard. That would probably have to go to like Tomorrow Never Knows on Revolver. But overall, it was a good song. It was a nice, good way to flow the album out. And yeah, that was the entire album. I'm going to go through one more time, listen to bits and bobs of songs, and tell you and review Playboi Carti's first mixtape. After having a couple minutes to reflect on it, I enjoyed 9 of the 15 songs, and if I could give my recommendations and my favorite songs, here's how they would go. Some of my favorite songs on here: Location, Magnolia, Woke Up Like This, Let It Go, New Choppa, Other Shit, Do That Shit, You Mean, and Had To. My favorite song on here is either New Chopper or Magnolia or Location. Okay, New Choppa or Location. Those songs were just excellent. I mean, oh my god. One thing that I do have to give praise for this album is the production. The beats were fresh, and this album is from 2017, and it's 5 years old, and oh man, it was phenomenal. And yeah, so overall, this is probably the best album that I've heard for R&R, and I know it's a mixtape, but whatever. It's the best album that I've heard, and this album is gonna get a straight 7. And yeah, if you guys enjoy this series, definitely leave a comment, whether you're on Spotify or Audius or Google Podcast. And yeah, thank you guys for listening to today's episode of R&R. And in the next episode, we'll be listening to Yours Truly by Ariana Grande. Have a great day. And this has been Review and Reaction.